I am here today to answer your questions, beginning with @RiversJohnson9. Says here, hi Stewart, what was your favorite drum set you used with the Police? Of which there was the baby blue one, the wooden one, Jeff has that, the midnight blue one, there were two of that. That was the Shea Stadium kit, that was the main one, played for years. Then there's the reunion kit, of which there were two. One returned because it was the wrong shade. Then there's this one here, which totally kicks ass. This is the Bubinga. That's way too long an answer. Next, okay. @mysteriousdays. Will you be rescheduling the shows with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra that got canceled in 2020? Yes. Okay. @ZenVesting4DNL. How did you, Les, Trey meet and decide to form Oysterhead? Well, I got a call from, at the time he was a new friend, Les Claypool, said he had this guitarist named Trey Anastasio. Let's go to Vermont, do a thing, see what happens, and then play Jazz Fest in New Orleans. The rest is Oysterhead. @mishmcfadden. If you haven't decided to go reggae ska influence route, do you think the Police sound would have been like? What do you think the Police sound would have been like? Do you think you would have had the same trajectory? Hard to say, but it's kind of moot because we started out completely as a fake punk band. We had a plan, we're gonna do this. That fell by the wayside when one of the guys in this so-called punk band started to write actual songs, hit songs that were fun to play. That blew everything out of the water. And so we just went from that point forward with our genuine musical instincts. And it turned out to be the Police. Whichever way you slice it. Okay, let's see here. Stevovertigo. What Police song was your favorite song to play live and the one that lights you right up? Can't Stand Losing You. That one there because it has the bit in the mark. Yo, yo, whoa, whoa. And old Stingo gets the crowds going. Love that song. It's also almost the end of the show. And like at that point, I'm like 5 minutes away from my shower. Okay. Patrickhyzy. How did you settle on the percussion instrumentation for wrapped around your finger? Well, I've just got all these cool percussion toys. See, you can kind of see them there. And they're fun to play. Any excuse to bang those instead of those is a blessing. Okay. reyintexas, @reyintexas. What shaped your signature accenting on the octobans? Is there a particular drumming tradition like nyabinghi, musical genre, influence, or memory that has inspired your approach? Actually, yes, there is. The baladi rhythms, of which the famous Lebanese dance, the debki is a major part of, was a big influence. It has structural similarities to reggae, which is that they hide the one, drop on three. And so, yes, I do have such ethnic, exotic influences percolating underneath the hood. @Carmela Roses, do you have any plans to write another book? It would be awesome to hear more about your family history, spy parents, and grandmother Lorraine and her time spent singing for the Paris Opera when she left Paris because of World War II. Indeed, that would be a heck of a book. I would love to write such a book. I would like to tell you every nuance of the story of my mother and grandmother, who were incredible women, very exotic, very interesting women who achieved amazing things. One of which was me. Let's see. @abeck4r. What are your top 3 songs that you like to play live? I already answered this question. But since you're asking for 2 more, and send you all a big hug from Costa Rica. Ciao, Costa Rica. Okay, I gave you one. That was Can't Stand Losing You. Then there would be Message in a Bottle. Always loved playing that song because it's just a fun rhythm to play. And for another one, oh gosh darn it. They all have their hidden blessings and pitfalls. I'm going to go with Born in the 50s, piece of cake. Jennsername. If that is you, raise your hand. What is a place you wish you had toured but never managed it? Well, you see, back in the day, there was a Cold War on, which meant that half of the globe was like, no, you can't go there. And then another third of the globe, commonly referred to as the Third World, didn't have concerts because rock and roll had not penetrated to those regions, like India, for instance, and most of Africa, Asia. Sure, they were on this side of the Iron Curtain, but they didn't do rock bands yet. They do now. But Asia, most of Asia except for Japan, China, oh man, I'd love to tour China. I'd love to tour Russia, all those Eastern European states. We just never got to go there because there was a Cold War on. I plan to make amends. Let's see here. This here from rosyanesthesist. Dear Maestro, I'd like to know if you love your old fans after all these years, yes, as an inspiration for you, and that encourages you to compose new music. Thank you, Stewart. Well, thank you, Rosie. Yes, I love with all my heart both the old fans and the new. As long as they're listening, I'm loving. Okay. For Beds Too Big Without You, what are you tapping the stick? The snare with your stick with the right hand. Now, this is an interesting technique where the stick goes across the drum, you're holding it there, and then you hit the stick, which creates a kind of a thin, woody kind of atmospheric sound that isn't the crack of a snare drum. And to tell you the honest truth, I suspect I did use that, but I soon fell out of that habit. You pick up you have fads. I got a new lick and you use it on everything. And then it kind of fades away because you discover some new rhythmic or musical toy. Thank you for reminding me of that one. At Joyful, which new and or current drummers should we be keeping an eye on? You know, I'm so far behind the guys that, you got to keep an eye on Joey Jordison. Yeah, hot new kid. Yeah, You're asking me? I don't know. Travis Barker. Check out Travis Barker. He sure can twiddle those sticks, but he's probably been doing that for maybe 20 years. I don't know. You tell me who the hot kid is. Oh, yeah. Kreutz, Nekrutman, that young Nekrutman fellow playing all the big band stuff. Keep an eye on him. Okay. OliverMaltman. Hi, Stewart. Huge fan of you and the Police. Thank you. Still waiting for the highly unlikely day you'll release your soundtrack for Decadence. Aha, you're in luck. I took the music of that. It's a film music by Stephen Burkett. Gosh, I'm a crap name dropper because I can't remember anybody's names. Famous guy. And I condensed the music and made it into 2 tracks on the album Orchestrali. And the 2 tracks comprising the music of the film Decadence are Eve and Grace, named after 2 of my daughters. And if you hunger for that music, you can find it on the Orchestrali album. Okay, one more here. Bigjettenergy. What was your favorite song on each album? Okay, first album. No, I don't have them on a shelf over there. First album, you see, I'm not sure which. I guess the first one would be Can't Stand Using You, Roxanne, where the killer cuts. Second album, Regatta. I don't know, was that Message in a Bottle? I don't know. That one we made up half in the studio because, you have your whole life to write your first album and 6 months to write the second album. That was Regatta de Blanc. Our best album, because we were in such a hurry that we didn't get intellectual. We just kind of made it up. Sting had, the basic songs to start with, and we just fleshed it out and made it up. I'm not sure which is the favorite song. Oh, then it was Zenyatta. I'm sorry, I can't remember which album was which song went on. Oh, they were all a joy to play and an honor to be a part of. Okay, very last one. What from at MaglanRares? What is the most important moment in the band's history, in your opinion? I would say it was the day I got off the subway. It was a cold, gray afternoon in London town, and I was underground in the subway, and I got off the subway, and I look over and there's this guy, triple scale guitarist, glad he even knows my name Andy Summers. And he says, we need to talk. And at the end of our conversation, he was the guitarist in the Police, and as soon as Sting got wind of that and started to hear what Andy could do with his fancy chords, suddenly a light bulb went off in Sting's head, and that is the moment when he started writing all those songs that we all love so much. So I would say running into Andy on the underground was that moment.